I'd like to bring the Town of Wappinger Zoning Board of Appeals meeting dated March 9th to order. Could I have a roll call, please, B?
Mr. Barr,
Here.
Mr. Delacorte,
Here.
Mr. Lorenzini,
Here.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes, here.
Mr. Galati.
I am here as well. The first order of business, acceptance of the minutes from February 23rd, 2021. Everybody have a chance to read and review, not a whole lot to digest.
Right. Yes.
Everybody got a look?
Yes.
Any modifications, revisions?
No, that's good.
Okay, could I have a motion to accept the minutes as written, please?
I make a motion to accept as is.
Could I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. All right, second order of business tonight is adjourned public hearing, appeal number 217720. Patrick Gigliotti seeking an area variance, section 24037 of the district regulations in an R40 zoning district. No accessory structure can be more than 600 square feet in size and no more than 20 feet in height. The applicant is proposing a garage of 1,444 square feet and 25 feet in height. The property is located at 1169 Route 376 and is identified as tax grid number 635801150,797 in the town of Wappinger. Could I have a motion to open the public hearing, please?
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Could I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. All right, Patrick,
Yes,
can you hear us okay?
I could hear you.
All right, great. Okay, just again, Patrick, for the benefit of the board and of course any folks that might be listening in, could you just give us a brief description again of what you need and why you need it?
Well, I've sent the town a diagram and all kinds of measurements. The necessity is, I have 4 children here, with a lot of baggage. So I proposed a 38 by 38 garage. We originally bought 88 acres in the town of Wappingers for the whole family to build their houses on. We bought this type of land so we would be able to build these type of structures. And I am so jammed up with everything right now, it's time for me to build a structure.
Yeah, and for the record, everyone, we are in receipt of your letter dated March 2nd, basically with a description of what you intend on doing with the garage and the dimensions of it. We also got the sketch that came along with that letter that basically shows what you're trying to put in the garage. I just had a quick question for you. I know you have just for clarification purposes, the dimensions on the sketch are 36 by 36, which would be the inside dimension of the building, correct?
That's correct. It's probably 36 foot 2 or 3, depending on how wide that concrete is, but
Each way.
yes, each one.
Gotcha. So you're basically losing 2 feet in both directions with either framing or wall or whatever.
To be honest with you, once started measuring, never even thought about that process. I started measuring 38 by 38. My brother actually said that this is the outside dimension. So I then measured, the foundation wall and, the whole 9 yards. And then it's going to equal about 36 foot 2, 36 foot 3, in that area.
The inside, yeah, but our variance is going to be needed for your footprint, right? So it's going to be out to out is what
Correct.
you're going to need the variance for. In looking at what you're proposing again and looking at the size of your lot, we being on the zoning board, we have to be careful setting precedents, right? And we do have some other applications that are on large parcels that have put up larger square foot garages. So we do take the parcel size into account, and we do take, the distance back off the road into account. So and as far as setting precedents go, each property is unique in some way, shape, or form, right? Yours being very large and very deep. Looking at some of the other past variances that we have gone to the board, there's some similar in nature. I don't have any other questions for the applicant. I know you guys may have some.
I had a question.
Go ahead.
I didn't see anywhere the storage in the upstairs, the size of the upstairs, and whether or not we could take that into consideration for some of the file storage and whatnot that you have on the first floor.
The storage upstairs is pretty small because it's a truss system, so it's just the middle of the trusses.
See.
It's not the whole it's not what you don't have 36 by 36 up there. You have, without actually analyzing the truss design, I would say you may have something 8 foot wide by maybe 28 feet, 30 feet.
So it's basically the center of it.
Yeah, basically.
So, Tom, because it's a truss system, you don't have a lot of head height up there, and you're unable to put anything very tall up there. And I would imagine, Pat, accessibility to that upstairs is just through the door on the side.
That's all.
Yeah.
My wife has massive amounts of files that I could fill the entire garage upstairs, downstairs. I have storage places. I can't explain to you how much stuff we have.
I bet. That's not going to be a man cave up there, Pat. Come on.
No, if it was, we wouldn't be doing 38 by 38.
All righty. Any other questions? I know, guys, we were out there a couple weeks ago, and we kind of saw what the property is all about. I took the liberty, Pat, of seeing on the parcel map access how far back your neighbor is to the rear and to the side, not your brother, the other side. And you got about 250 feet or so just to the rear property line of the property behind you, and about another 200 feet beyond that to the house. So it's quite deep. So it's quite screened too as well on all sides. So hey guys, any other questions?
Yeah, well, one question.
Sure.
Did you review the option of connecting it to the house? I know we talked about that last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I reviewed it. It's not something I'm interested in. It's a major undertaking. It's just not putting it to the side of the garage. And
The whole thing's a major undertaking.
yeah, exactly. So I'm not going to expand it even more of an undertaking than it already is.
Yeah, I think too, not to interrupt you, Pat, that it needed to be an enclosed heated breezeway, so it wasn't as easy as connecting a roof structure
No,
to it.
wasn't.
So a little more involved than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I would ask too, if there's no more questions from the board, I don't see any other folks on board the Zoom, Barbara. I don't know if the public or anybody listening in may have a question. Right, so for the record, there's no questions from the public. At this point, then I would ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Could I have a second, please?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so moved. Okay, so then I would ask then to the board, do I have a motion to grant or deny the applicant the variance?
I'll make a motion that we grant the variance as requested. This requested variance will not produce an undesirable change of the neighborhood. There is no substantial detriment will be created to nearby properties. There's probably a better way to do it, but it's understandable what he wants to get done there and understandable what he wants to do. The requested area variance is quite substantial, but like I said, it's on quite a bit of acreage. The the proposed variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district, and the alleged difficulty is self-created. So for those reasons, I would think that we should grant this variance.
All right, could I have a motion to, I'm sorry, could I have a second, please?
I do second it.
All right, could I have roll call, please, B?
Wait.
Yep.
Wait. Before you continue, for the record, this is two separate variances. One is for the size of the garage, one is for the height.
Oh, correct.
So I just like in the motion that there is the correction that you are agreeing with the roll call if it goes through for the two separate variances.
Correct. So I'll be repeated. Could I have a motion, please, to grant the applicant both variances?
I will make that motion, Pete. I will amend my motion that it's both variances.
Great. Could I have a second, please?
Yes, I make a second.
All right, roll call, B?
Mr. Barr,
No.
Mr. Delacorte,
Yes.
Mr. Lorenzini,
Yes.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Mr. Galati.
Yes. Okay, Patrick, your variance has been granted.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know if we had any additional instructions for Patrick?
Tomorrow, B, I will approve your variance and it will go to the building department for review of your plans. They'll call you when it's ready.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
All right, Pat, thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, next order of business tonight would be a discussion. Appeal number 217718, Lydia Estrada, seeking an area variance section 24037 of the district regulations in an R40 zoning district, where 50 feet is required to the rear yard property line. The applicant can provide 20.4 feet to allow for an existing 24-foot above-ground pool to remain and 7-foot wide new deck, thus requesting a variance of 29.6 feet. Where 25 feet is required to the side yard property line, the applicant can provide 14.6 feet for an existing pool to remain, thus requesting a variance of 10.4 feet. Where 25 feet is required to the side yard property line, the applicant can provide 15.2 feet for an existing deck to house, thus requesting a variance of 9.8 feet. Where 50 feet is required to the rear yard property line, the applicant can provide 12.2 feet for an existing deck to house, thus requesting a variance of 37.8 feet. The property is located at 28 Kendall Drive and is identified as tax grid number 625701331504 in the town of Wappinger. So that's a mouthful. So I believe, Lydia, oh, there you go. You're bouncing around on the screen a little bit. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
So tonight we're on for a discussion, so there's no need to open a public hearing yet. We do ask, though, if you're for the board's benefit and anybody who might be listening in, just a brief description of, again, what you need and why you need it. You got a couple things going on, so you could just give us a brief description. I also see that a few things have changed since the last time we saw you, right? The plan is a much better, more detailed plan that's submitted this time. So it's good to get all those things sorted out the first time, right? So again, just a quick, brief description again of what you need and why you need it.
Okay. Well, we have the original deck with the original house, and it was getting a little run down. Wood was chipping, so we made the decision to improve it. We have a 5-year-old. He was, he plays out on the deck. So decided to, improve it, also expand it. So that way we have easier access to the backyard, to the pool area, a little bit more area for us to spread out on the pool area, and a better material, so it's not wood.
Gotcha. So yeah, so with the several variances you have, some of them for existing structures and some of them for
Right.
proposed structures.
Yes.
There's
Right.
nails sticking out from the bottom of some of the parts of the pool,
Yeah.
which is not safe for a 5-year-old son.
Yeah, sure. We definitely want to get that taken care of. And it's much, again, just emphasizing it's much better getting this done all in one shot
Yes.
and accurately, right?
Yes.
Than having an issue down the line sometime or
Yes.
down the pipe. What we normally do, I'll ask the guys if they have any questions, but just that what we normally do is we like to come out for a site visit
Okay.
and come to your property. We'll probably like to do that on Saturday, this Saturday at about 9 o'clock, if that works for you guys.
That works.
What we also like you to do, if possible, is if you can locate the pool is up, so we could pretty much tell, let's see where your deck's going to go. But we'd like to be able to see as best as possible the side property lines and the rear property line. If you guys can locate that either with some flagging or mark or some spray paint or something on the grass.
Okay.
'Cause I think you got grass now. The snow may be gone.
Yes, a little bit.
So we have a good idea of what we're looking at and dimensions that we're looking at as well.
Okay.
Did you guys have any other questions?
Just real quick, I see the deck is a new proposed deck, the one that's attached to the house. Is the old deck still there?
Yes.
Barely.
Yeah. They said that's starting to go.
Mhm.
All right. So if there's no other questions now, what we'd like to do is, again, we'll schedule the site visit for this Saturday, and we'll be there about 9 o'clock. Guys, can you all make it this Saturday?
Yeah, I should be okay.
Yeah, if that works.
Saturday's fine.
Okay.
Oh,
Good.
Pete, one other question. I'm
Yes.
sorry for Mr. and Mrs. Estrada. I don't know if Pete mentioned it. He probably did. He talked about the side and the back, the rear lines and whatnot. Also, the proposed deck on the pool. You can just
Yeah.
mark that out, just onto the ground, spray it, or put a pole or something, so we have an idea of
Okay.
the distance.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
you could do a little
Yeah.
spray paint on the grass too, if you can. That's fine.
Okay.
Give us an idea of where it's all going, how it's all going to fit. All right. All right. So what we'd like to do too is then I think we would schedule you for a public hearing at the next available meeting date.
Okay.
Would you know what that is?
Yes. Also, Lydia, I might be giving you a call to stop by on Thursday to pick up the public hearing notices and the sign to put on your lawn.
Okay.
So that would be March 23rd for the public hearing.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll see March, that was 23rd to be?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll see, we'll see you Saturday and
Okay.
then we'll have the public hearing on March 23rd.
All right. That sounds good.
Okay. All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All
Thanks
right.
for your
Thank you.
time.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. All
Urchins.
right, so I don't think we have any further business for tonight's zoning board, correct?
No.
So I would
9
ask,
o'clock Saturday, Pete?
yeah, 9 o'clock Saturday, we'll all meet in the
I'll
house there.
send you guys a reminder.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect.
That's good.
Thank you, Pete.
Perfect. And that being said, could I have a motion, please, to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Could I have a second, please?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Have a great night, everybody.
All right.
Thank you, Pete.
Night.